Malevolence, Con, Josh, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, pretty sick, man. Thank you for. I learned how to download a tone today on the quad Cortex, so thank you for showing me.
You're welcome.
Some new tricks.
Yeah, that's all Con. That he's the tech guy. I'm not very good at the quad Cortex
Josh
thing.
is the riffer. I'm the sorter.
Yeah.
He plays the riffs.
Yes.
I make it so he can play them.
Yeah, he makes it sound good.
No, that's a fucking team, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. You know. Yeah.
100%.
I think the whole band's like that. So we've all got our set jobs within the band.
Yeah.
So every member does something different that just all comes together, and we're just a really good team.
Yeah.
So
Definitely works well, and like it's taken a few years to like perfect, you know. But like everyone's sort of fallen into their own role, and it just keeps the ball rolling, kind of nice, you know, and it helps it grow, which is nice. You know, I mean, it's cool to see when you've got dedicated sort of things happening throughout the whole project, you know, and then it all sort of comes together at once, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I've been doing this, like while you've been sorting these new songs or something, you know.
Yeah.
And it means that everything can sort of roll a little bit smoother rather than, oh, I've got this, now we need a music video, and everyone's like, oh, I've got, let's start now, you know, like if someone, Alex will have like an idea or a concept for something already to bring to the table, and he's like, oh, I've been in touch with so-and-so about filming it, and it just speeds the whole process up a little bit, which is always best, you know.
Yeah, your band's been going since 2010. You know, what you guys? I mean, you were in the band when you were 14, right?
Yeah. I joined Malevolence when I was 14.
it's a long story.
Yeah,
But
very.
we can get into it if you want.
Please.
Yeah.
So, me and Josh.
Oh my God.
Me and Josh.
I've got that tape
Oh,
at my
that's
house.
an old
Do you really?
school.
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah.
So me and Josh were in
Cool
our
logo.
own band.
Yeah.
We had our own band years ago.
Yeah.
Called Decimate.
Yes.
And I met Josh at a bike track when he was 11, and I thought he was a little girl. And he was like, he came, I'll never forget it. He came up to me. He was like, "Do you like metal?" And I was like, "Yeah, sick." And he told me he had an electric drum kit, and I was like, "Fuck off, I don't believe you." I ended up going around his house, and we jammed, and then we were like, "Let's start a band." And I was like 15 at the time.
You're older.
Yeah, I was
Okay, a little bit older.
I'm older,
A little
yeah.
bit.
And then we started a band, and we wanted to just play metal, but we couldn't play metal at the local Can You Jam night in the pub. Because they'd just boo you off. So we started playing rock music, and we've actually got some of the tracks. I'll send them you from when me and Josh we had to take it in turns because we didn't know anyone else that played.
Yeah.
So I'd play drums and Josh would play guitar and sing, and then he'd play drums and I'd play guitar and sing. And I've got them on my Dropbox, like some OG songs. Should stick them on.
Sounds like I've like inhaled loads of helium before. Because I was like literally 11 years old.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not even hit puberty by that point, I don't think.
Yeah.
Was that one of your first
Yeah,
riffs or what?
that's Pessimist.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first rock songs I ever wrote.
You guys
we did it together.
You guys still remember that?
Of course,
that-
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember them all.
Probably sing the whole thing to be fair. Yeah.
I could play the whole song now.
What's the chorus?
It's in,
Why you always look? Wait.
Why you always looking down? Always looking down.
Your head lost to the ground. Wait, where are we?
Yeah. It was in standard tuning before, so trying to work it out in beat.
Why you always looking down? Oh, your head's not stuck to the ground.
Not stuck to the ground.
Why you always looking down?
Always looking down.
Pessimist, I'll see you around.
See you around.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even.
So you guys were already singing too.
Yeah, we were smashing it. Like
Yeah.
he was 11,
Dang.
I was like 15. So we carried on, and we did this whole metal band called Decimate, and we actually played shows with Malevolence. 'Cause
Yeah.
Charlie and Wilkie and their friend Matt Borrowdale, they started Malevolence when they were 11.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's
so
like
they've been doing their band, and we did our band, and we all met together, and we went to completely different schools. Josh went to a different school than me, and Charlie and Wilkie went to a completely separate school as well. But we met in like the local Sheffield metal scene, and there's some hilarious photos from when we were kids. Like there's one that gets brought up every so often of Charlie and Wilkie. Wilkie's got dreadlocks, Charlie's got really long hair, and there's a photo of them. And we just did a tour with While She Sleeps in Europe, and we brought out this photo from years ago where they played a show at a venue called Under the Boardwalk in Sheffield, and it literally says While She Sleeps Malevolence. And they're stood next to that sign, like throwing horns, and Wilkie's got dreadlocks, Charlie's got long hair, and it's hilarious. But then years later, you had ended up joining Malevolence, and then in like 2009, all my friends just didn't really care about music anymore, and I wanted to go to shows, and I wanted to like get back into the music world.
Yeah.
Because I'd not picked up my guitar in about 2 years by then. And then I started hanging around with these guys more, going to shows, and then they had Malevolence, Josh was in the band, and they had a singer called Flabby at the time, and he wasn't very good. So I was just like, look, I'll sing. I'll be the vocalist of Malevolence. And they were like, cool. So they got rid of Flabby, and I joined Malevolence in 2009. That's the picture, yeah.
Is this it?
That's the one.
That's it.
Band's playing tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Embers burn, local
Embers
legend.
burn.
While She Sleeps.
Yeah. Shout out to Retaliator from Rotherham.
Soloist.
Yeah, someone was like, is this Silosis? And I was like, no.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, that's a cool memory. But yeah, in 2000.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is more.
Yeah,
Those dreads?
Look at
Those
that.
dreads.
sick.
look how young he is and all, man. It's mental.
So again, how old are you guys in this photo?
So that's that's Matt Borrowdale on the left, and Charlie's in the middle. I don't know how old they were, like 11, 12, something
Yeah,
like
probably.
that.
Yeah, 12-ish.
And Wilkie
12.
on the right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old school.
Wish I had that Chimera hoodie.
In it.
Pretty sick.
And then I've got some photos.
Wow.
I've got some photos on my phone of me and Josh. I don't know
Yeah, maybe
I
if you
don't know
put Decimate Sheffield into Google, it might actually pull them up. Like,
Dude, those
yeah,
dreads are very impressive.
yeah,
Chimera hoodie?
just
very
type
good.
in type in Decimate UK band Sheffield.
Oh,
okay.
no, that's the one from London.
Do you know what?
Oh, there's
We'll
two of them.
We'll just. Well, yeah. At the time, we had no idea because obviously we were like kids.
Let me airdrop it to you because it's hilarious.
Dude, we got to get this photo up there.
Yeah, I think there was like a London hardcore band called Decimate that we had no idea about, obviously, when we were little kids and that. But
How long is Sheffield from London?
about 4 hours ish. So it's not too far, but
Sure.
in terms of England, it is. You know, but
Oh, yeah.
but not over here. Everything's
Totally.
4 hours away at least.
Yeah.
You know? So-
Yeah, you want to cancel the show?
Shall I send it
You got
to
Vegas 4 hours.
yeah. That's it, man. Oh, you found it.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's hope these send. This is
Oh, this is working. Oh,
Yeah.
crap! You have these on
I've
deck.
got them on deck.
Oh, yeah.
So that's me and Josh.
Look at
Okay.
the quality
Yeah,
of that.
that's me and Josh, and that was in the graveyard.
Down the road from
What year do you reckon
our
that is? Like
parents' house.
2006, maybe 2006 or 7.
6 or 7, yeah, because
Yeah.
I would have been 11 or 12.
And that's like we've been to see Lamb of God and Chimera at Corporation back in the day.
There we are.
There we are. Look, we've still got them guitars, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've got mine.
I
hung
recorded
on
loads
my
of the
wall.
new album on that guitar.
Is that Con? Because you, I think you were 12 and you got a Jackson Charvel Model 6, right? Is that
So
is that it?
So that Jackson Charvel Model 6, there's a right good story behind it. So before that, I just had like starter guitars, like a Stag or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wanted a real guitar, and I was like, Jacksons are fucking real guitars, aren't they? And
Yeah.
I was like, I want a real guitar. So I went to this guitar shop in Sheffield. I think it was called Steel City Music or Steel City Guitars or something like that. And they had this Jackson Charvel Model 6 hung on the wall. It was £400. And I was like 12 or 13, and I didn't have that kind of money. Anyway, I'd saved up like my Christmas and my birthday money to buy a new guitar, and I saw this guitar in the guitar shop, and I was like, I need that guitar. And my dad said, well, whatever you've got, I will match it. so you can get a new guitar. And I had like £150. It came to like £300. I was like, I'm 100 quid short. And he was like, well, just ring them up and ask them like what they'll do it for. Anyway, I was like so eager to get this Jackson Charvel Model 6. I rang them up 8 times. And in the end, they were just like, come and get it now and you can have it for 300 quid. And I was like, straight on bus. And I went and got it. Yeah, and I've still got it. It's hung on my wall at home.
Oh, you still got it?
Yeah, I still got it.
Good,
I'm
man.
never ever selling that guitar. I love it.
Don't.
Yeah.
And like all the frets are like flat and everything. It's like fucked. You can't really play it anymore. I thought about getting it sorted out.
You should.
Yeah, maybe I'll take it to Dean and get it sorted. But I'll never take it on tour. It's too precious.
No, take it to Jackson.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, because
Yeah, sort it out for me.
Yeah, because Jackson is in Corona, where I live.
All right. Yeah. Sick.
I think I know who exactly they would give it to.
Who?
They might give it to Rob Knowles.
All right.
He's really good with he's one of the master builders there.
Sick.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah,
That'd be sick. Yeah.
I
might bring it out next time I come.
You
but
should.
We freighted all the stuff this time, and to be fair, it wasn't the freight company's fault. It was Air Canada, but they broke loads of our stuff and like.
What happened?
This got really chipped up, and I've just sort of started relicking it on this tour because
Nice.
it was because I got annoyed because when you got like a big bit out of it,
Sure.
and the rest of it's perfect. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh. So there's like a big crack in the back of it now after the freight. You'll not be able to see it on the cameras, but
That's a crack.
yeah, this is a crack.
Yeah, it's like split.
It's
And
like splitting the wood from the neck.
So that crack is from the freight.
Yeah, well, Air Canada drove a forklift truck into our pallet of stuff basically and destroyed like
No.
everything. Like they've crushed Josh's guitar case.
Yeah, my Enki's like thinner now.
Yeah,
it's
thinner.
so weird.
Yeah, it's all
like
smashed up.
It's all like bent and shit in the middle. It's kind of fucked. But shout out to Enki, like the cases do work.
Yeah,
you know what I
work.
mean.
They
So
work.
it saved
my,
the
my
guitars.
Inky didn't get damaged, but my guitars did. It's weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. I don't know if they opened them or what, but our front of house guy's console, which is worth like 12K, like 12 grand, the forklift drove the forks into his case. And the day before this tour, I found out it's Valentine's Day, right? So everyone's trying to have a nice last day before
Yes.
they come on this tour with the girlfriends, whatever. And I found out that the freight had all been crushed and everything on Valentine's Day. I decided not to tell our front of house guy because he would have just been like, "Oh my god, what's happening? What's happening?
Yeah,
What's
it'd have
happening?"
been flipping.
He would have been flipping. Then it would have ruined my day. It would have ruined his day. So I didn't
Yeah.
tell him, and I just made a phone call to Scott Dixon Cases, which luckily they're only in Hull, so it's like an hour away from my house. And I rang Donna up. I was like, "I've got a fucking emergency. Like, can you help us out?" And she was like, "Yep." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yep. Be with you by 11 o'clock today." And I was like, "Shit." So they just had a guy drive us over a brand new case for it, and we flew it out to America. Luckily, the desk wasn't damaged.
Yeah.
Chucked it in the new case, laughing. So
Easy.
shout out to Scott Dixon because their cases are amazing and the customer service is sick.
Yeah, yeah. Really
Smashed
sorted
it,
us out
yeah.
there.
Shout out to Donna.
Yeah, they were like the first of like the guitar bases, like flight cases.
Yeah.
You know, and they were actually really hard to get.
Yeah.
Remember, we tried for a while. Oh, you see, like still like these egg-shaped cases. Oh, what are those?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we toured them for 8 years. I bought one second hand and we toured it hard for 8 years and we just replaced all of them. And then we got hit up by Enki and we swapped to Enki. But we still got all them cases. And
They still work.
They still work, they still mint. So we just we got to a point where we were flying 3 guitars and they were overweight and we just wanted something a little bit smaller just to take 2 because we only needed 3 when we were playing the other side off
The other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were playing the other side and that's in an open B tuning. So we had to take a 3rd guitar to play that song. So we had a main, a spare, and then a different tuning.
I saw. You guys gave me a idea. You had like it was just both of you playing a acoustic show.
Oh yeah.
Two
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Two. I saw 2 separate shows, and one of them was you guys covered "Crawling" by Linkin Park,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and the other one was "Outside" by
By Stain.
Stained,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good one.
You guys are great singers.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I try. He's good at singing. I
Nah,
just
you're
try.
good.
I try.
He's got the
hard to-
harmonies.
Yeah, I'm good at matching harmonies.
I heard those harmonies.
Yeah. I got the falsetto going on some of these ones.
yeah.
Super high
That's
stuff. Yeah.
This made me like, dude, I kind of want to do something like this. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. Oh yeah, it's
Dope.
sustained.
Where was this?
So this is
In Birmingham.
In Birmingham, and it was actually for the Trivium artwork, which is in the background for their new record. It was like they were touring the artwork all around the world, I think, and it was like in a pallet, and they'd ship it to different venues, and then they'd have like these events around the release of their artwork. So
Whoa,
like,
that's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
It's
Yeah,
proper
it was
crazy.
mad,
Like,
yeah.
before we were like the first. Were we the first ones to play at this event? I can't remember, but they had like Matt Heafy on like a video chat, and he was like, "Hey guys, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for coming and checking out my picture." And then we just played some songs, and it was cool.
Yeah. Josh Middleton did some acoustic stuff as well, and then was it Tesseract?
Tesseract did some. Yeah.
They did some acoustic covers and stuff as well.
And then there was a local band. What were they called? Can't remember.
Yeah, I do know.
But they were
they're all
good.
really nice as well.
She had a really good voice, actually. That girl.
Yeah, the name escapes me now.
That's crazy. Was they took artwork and they were shipping it around?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
crazy.
it's like that big canvas thing in the back.
I don't know if it's like it must be like the original painting of it or something.
I think that was like the point, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's a very Trivium thing to do.
It is.
It's a very Trivium thing to do.
Well, it's cool that you guys were a part of it, man.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sick. Actually, do you know what? When I'm gonna sing in front of a small, intimate audience like that, I'm way more nervous. I'd rather play to 10,000 people,
Of course.
like
Yeah.
behind some chugging overdrive and
There's way more
dancing
scrutiny.
around. Yeah, but like you hit a wrong note on acoustic. Like some of these songs, I can't even watch them back because I'm playing too fast and. He's like looking at me like
Slow it down.
slow it down, and I'm just like, fuck.
So we've got 4 songs worth of material here. We need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
stretch
yeah.
it out.
Just
Do you know what I mean?
stretch
Like, yeah.
And like if you scrutinize some of these videos, like, oh, it's dreadful. But
You're always your own worst
the,
critic, though.
the Turn to Stone one is actually sick of this.
okay.
So the Turn to Stone video from the acoustic, that's my favorite one. Because I like sing the. Do I do the higher bit? Don't know on the vocals.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like we tried to change up our own song.
Yeah, so it's fit acoustic a little bit better.
It's different tuning, isn't it?
Oh, I thought you made a mistake on the video then. Are we in C? We must be
That's
in
awesome,
C.
man. Yeah, we did a acoustic show, and yeah, it's way harder.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
way harder to like deal. Yeah, it's like there's only like a few people watching you, and it's like you can't. I guess you can't hide behind the gain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You're just right there, and people can hear every little wrong note. You're like, oh, I practice. I promise, I practice.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
fuck, it's just,
I'm usually
it's all-
good at this.
It's all going away right now.
Yeah.
And the second, I think the one after the did we do download before this one or was after?
That was after. This was the first time.
This was the first time we ever did a proper acoustic show, and then we did download after, and they offered us a bunch of money to play it, and we basically just laughed and said no because we had a main stage, a second stage like high up slot the day after, and then they came back with like a ridiculous sum of money, and now we're just like okay. So we went and played.
just drove down
and
the day
We just
before.
drove down us two, and we took Tom, our front of house guy, and we just like said, what are we going to play? Or we'll just play anything. Because someone had told me it was like in a tent, like a small, what they normally do the comedy club on. And we rocked up to Download. It was in like the camping village area
Yeah.
of Download Fest. And it turned out it was this huge stage that was open air. Anyway, we started playing and there must have been 700 people.
Yeah.
Like,
Loads of people
watching.
came, didn't they,
It was
to watch it.
crazy. So we only had like 4 or 5 songs and we just like winged it on day. Just like, oh, we'll go down and play whatever. Next thing you know, there's this huge crowd. And we're playing like Linkin Park acoustic and everyone's singing along.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was sick, to be fair.
And then like we got to end of what we were playing and they were just like, oh, we don't they were chanting one more song. We didn't have anything else we could play.
Yeah.
So this is this is
God.
hilarious. And me and my friend Ewan, who sells merch for us, we'd like be messing around in the studio during lockdown, and we'd written this song called Mud Pie, which were just like taking the piss out of everything. And it was.
Oh, this is it. Oh no, it's you playing. I could never tell who it's. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this.
I don't know. Find myself again. The walls are closing in. The confidence. Yeah, I
Well,
did I
doing
did
all the
both
rapping
bits.
as well, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I did
sick.
both bits, man.
Yeah.
What was the tuning here?
Drop C,
Tune in.
probably.
No, that's B.
It's B.
B, is it?
Just
Oh,
a
yeah.
chugging. It's beautiful, man.
I can't remember that bit.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Dude, 700 people.
attaboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
we were
I
having
can't remember.
we were having a great time, to be fair.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like making it up as we went along. It was sick.
But what was so good about that is it wasn't like there was no expectation from the audience.
Yeah,
they were
definitely.
they'd all been out all day at the fest.
Yeah.
Everyone who was still going and wasn't too tired to
Look
go.
at
Look
state
at
of
the
it.
state of
So
that.
many people
I was
there.
like,
Oh,
what?
I would shit my pants for there.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
was
we
just
were
like,
like,
we
shit.
were completely underprepared. I thought there were going to be like 30, 40 people max.
Yeah, I
And-
remember like before we went on, we were just like, right, this is gonna be so weird. Like, do you know what I mean, it's gonna be people like just eating like.
That's a lot. That's a fucking big show.
Yeah.
dude.
Because
Turned out loads of people turned
when
up.
we first like set up and we got there were just no one there. It were just like a few barrels,
Yeah.
and like you could see a few people like stumbling back after a full day at the festival. Like, you know, they've got the chips, the fries as you call it. They've got
Yeah.
the fries, and they're just like,
Yeah, it was like a bit messy and shit.
and
like-
we were just like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and I was like, I don't even know
Yo.
words.
Yeah. So
It
we're
was so good.
definitely underprepared.
Oh yeah. So at the end, like they chanted one more song, and I just started playing this random song called Mud Pie that I'd made up, and it was just like,
Just like.
I'm gonna make you try a mud pie. Yeah, it was hilarious, wasn't it? But they
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah,
And I made
loved it.
them
It's sick.
sing Mud Pie, and they all did. And I
That's
was
what's
just
up.
like, this is just so joke.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's up. Sweetwater. You heard me talk about them before, but I'm reminding you again. They are the #1 online retailer for pro audio and music instruments. When the band needs anything for a tour or we need something here for the podcast, we always go to Sweetwater. If you're trying to slam and need any music gear, click the link in the description below so they know you came from this podcast. Distro Kid. If you're like myself and have no idea how to get your songs on the internet, DistroKid is the easiest way to get your music that you or your band wrote on all streaming platforms. Get your songs onto iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and more. Check it out at distrokid.com/VIP/Garza and get 30% off your membership. That's distrokid.com/VIP/Garza to get 30% off.
It was wicked.
You know what song I really love from you guys? Let's speak since we're on like the clean subject. Higher Place.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah, what do you guys do for the intro?
you started, don't
I
you?
literally just go like this. A sense of how you play, leaving my earthly form behind, filling the empty space, drifting on way as I go with the tide. Not them notes, though. Memories fade by empty shell of myself, fading away till no reflection remains.
Yeah, there you go.
That was beautiful, man. Thank you for that.
That's
Holy
all good.
crap.
And then it changes and goes heavy and stuff. But
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you guys to go full on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we'll just play the whole song now.
Thank
Yeah, no, that's all
you.
good. Yeah. Well, I originally wrote this song. It was like a piece of music for my granddad's funeral. So
Are you
like,
serious?
yeah. So I wrote like the chords and stuff like on piano, and there was like violins and stuff like that. It was all MIDI or whatever. But and then they played it at his funeral, like as his coffin was being like incinerated. And then these lot like all really liked the vibe of it. So I just decided to like change it into guitars and drums. And then the lyrics aren't anything to do with my granddad or anything like that. But I guess it's like about loss, you know? So it kind of fit, and it's just like got quite a lot of like emotion behind it. And I feel like that translates even if you don't know the story, which is quite cool. And then like the guitar solo, when I was like tracking it, it's just like the first thing that came out of my head.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird.
First thing?
Yeah, I just jammed it, pressed record like on the demo, and I just played that, and that's what
And
it
that was
stayed.
it,
It stayed as that because it was just like, oh right, just like that's it.
Just
Like
the
first
one-
try,
just
I was like, oh, this is
the
weird.
one take solo, innit?
Yeah.
But that was like, because we tracked it, didn't we, I think? Or did you track it? I can't remember.
I tracked it at home, and
You
then
tracked
we did
it.
all the
We
vocals,
did-
obviously.
No, I mean the original, though, the eulogy for your granddad.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
we tracked it at my house like years ago, didn't
yeah,
we?
with the acoustic.
And obviously, with a piece of music like that that's serving such a sensitive purpose, I guess, I came up with this idea for like the bridge, like the pre-chorus, but years before we end up using the song, like in a record, because it was like such a sensitive thing. I didn't want to be like, oh look, can we use this? I just waited for him to say he was ready to use it.
course.
But for years I just had the. Oh, are we on the? And you see me fall from grace. Nothing will save me now. I just like came up with that idea like years and years before we ever used it, and I was just like, and when he said, I want to use it in the next record, I was like, I've got this bit, please, can we have it? Because I'd like sat on it for, it must have been like 2-3 years, maybe longer.
It was a while, yeah,
A long time, weren't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And I'd like sat on that bit as a pre-chorus, and then I was like, if anyone makes me change it now, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. You can never get the ideas out of your head, though, do you know what I mean, when
Yeah.
you've like thought about it
was
that much.
So we just end up using it, and that it's an amazing song though, that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And
There's
I
always
think
people
it's,
like crying and shit.
It's really, it's a nice, diverse piece of music to showcase that we are actual musicians. We're not just, because I feel like a lot of times bands have super heavy sets, and they feel like they just need a little bit of a break in the middle, just to like bring things down before it goes back up. And that song for us is really good in the live set, because when it's frantic and everything's heavy and it's super sick, and it gives people a break. It also, like Josh was saying with the lyrics, is we try and write a lot of our stuff not from a really deep personal level. There's like stuff in there that we might be feeling or whatever, but we try and leave a lot of the lyrics open to interpretation. So anyone with personal struggles or anything like that, they can interpret it the way that they want to, which works really well, actually.
Totally.
A lot of people can relate to the music a lot more then,
Yeah.
rather than being a specific thing.
Yeah, each person has their own their own attachment to it, their own meaning,
Yeah, we do get a lot of messages about Higher Place, and we've had everything from people playing it to like walking down the aisle, which was, the song was about, it's a little bit about loss, but
Yeah.
if that works for them, then great. But we've had it from everything like that to people saying, "Oh, look, it's really helped me through some hard times and with a recent loss or whatever and stuff." So it's a great song.
It's a great song. Yeah. When you hear certain songs, you're like, I wonder what the meaning is behind the song, because I know it's heavy, and then and you mentioned it was about your grandfather passing away. So
Yeah.
I was just curious, like what it was. So
No, yeah, that's it. Like, I feel like Con was sort of saying, like, we write ballads as well, I guess you might call them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And that would just seem to fall into place. Like, it was never meant to be a Malevolence song in the first place. You know, it was for my granddad. But something about it just, like, lent itself really well to instruments and, you know, putting lyrics over the top of it, regardless of whether if it's about what I made it for or not. You know, it's like it works, and it just, it seems to resonate nice with people. And like Con said, it breaks up the set if we're playing for, you know, a headline like over an hour or whatever. You get like, you know, super fast, heavy stuff for most of it. So it's cool to bring it down in the middle and just like, you know, give everyone a bit of a break and like, you know, put some feels out instead.
Did you guys play that song in Riverside?
We did.
I remember. I'm like, what song is this?
Yeah.
It's dope. Yeah, I was like, I had my beer. I'm just chilling in my hometown. It's like watching you guys. Like,
yeah, to be fair, we do
dope.
usually play it like on most sets, even if we're supporting and stuff like that. But if we're doing like the more metal tours, because metal fans are generally a bit more receptive to it, I guess. But we're not playing it on this tour just because we want to smash through some heavy shit for half an hour, you know? Like, we got a support slot, so.
Yeah, we're playing a song off the new record.
Yeah, that sort of replaced it.
And I feel like the tour packages that we're on right now, everything's a little bit heavier, a little bit more frantic, and we don't have the time to be able to pull off a new song as well as Higher Place. And I feel like what we're doing now, this set actually works pretty well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, flows pretty well.
It's nice to play some new stuff in it.
Yeah.
well, Con, you are. We can say you're a new father.
Yeah.
You know, is this your first tour being a dad?
No.
Oh,
Oh
it's
my
not?
God, absolutely not.
No?
So, my partner Cara, she's amazing. And when Fox, he's called Fox.
Yeah.
So when Fox first came, I literally 2 weeks after he was born, I had to go and play some big shows with Five Finger Death Punch. So I flew out to them shows and like flew straight back, carried on like helping out and stuff. And then when he was 5 weeks old, I went on tour with Lamb of God.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a really hard time for me because
Pretty tough.
I mean, obviously my son's just been born, which is the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life.
Yeah.
And then you've also got a tour that I've wanted to do since I first picked up guitar when I was age 12. Do you know what I mean? And it's those two things coming together. And if it wasn't that tour, I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably wouldn't have left. But, you know, when it's that thing you've worked towards your whole life, Lamb
Your
of
whole
God,
life, man.
Mastodon, Kerry King, like literally my whole thing. And it wasn't just about me either. I didn't want to let everyone else down. So, you know, that was like the tour. Since we've literally known each other, that is the tour.
Yeah, we were like, always, it's like, what's your main goal? It's like, tour with Lamb of God.
Tour
in
with Lamb of
America.
God.
Do you know what I mean?
That's like that was the dream forever. That's like the same dream as getting a Marshall stack.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a kid,
Oh
you're
my
like,
God, yeah.
oh my God, a Marshall stack.
It's like one day I'm
And
gonna
I was
be
just
stood in
like,
front of
look,
one of them.
I've got to go. We've got to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. So we did that. He was 5 weeks old, and we went for 5 weeks. So when I came back, I'd been away more than he'd been alive, which was crazy. But do you know what? The great thing about being in the position that we're in, being in a band and we tour full time, it's our full time job. We don't have jobs outside of the band. It's great because when I'm not on tour, I get to spend big blocks of time just being a dad, which is amazing. So like a lot of people, you know, they'll go to work and they'll come back and they haven't got the energy to play with the son or their child, whatever. And for me, it's amazing because I have. I get to spend we just had 2 months off and I just spent every day with him. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then what did we do after Lamb of God? That's the last tour, isn't it?
Sleeps.
Oh, and then we did another tour. So we were home for a month or two, I can't remember, and then we went out to Europe with While She Sleeps. And then on the last 2 days of that tour, Cara flew Fox out to surprise me.
Ah, yeah.
And it were amazing. I never expected it. It were insane. So we talked about her coming out and everything, and then we just said, oh, let's not bother. And then next thing I know, I walked into the dressing room and she's there with Fox. And I could have cried. It were insane.
It was so
amazing.
nice.
And I was just like, whoa, this is so sick.
Yeah.
So he came to his first Malevolence show in Antwerp in Belgium, and Cara actually used to live there. That's why she chose to come there. And we got him, one of my friend Priestley made him this really cute little Malevolence t-shirt. So he came to the show and he's got I've got a photo, but he's got his little Malev t-shirt on and he's stood there, and yeah, it were amazing. So good.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. What's the... Yeah, so I'm 39, you know. Our whole band doesn't have kids. So remember we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I'm like, are you guys going to have kids? And like no one said... I'm like the only one that's like, I think I might have some kids, but there's that I mean that fear.
Yeah.
You know, what's for like for you, what was like the hardest part, having a kid and now you're pursuing your dream?
I guess just being away from him,
Yeah.
because I really obviously he's my son and I'd like to spend all my time with him, but at the same time it's like any job where you're required to go and do something. Like my dad, he was a steel erector, used to work on the oil rigs offshore and things like that.
Oh wow.
And when I was a kid, he was away for like, I don't know, 6 weeks at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he came back, and this is what I said to Cara before we had Fox. I was just like, this is the only thing I'm scared about, because when my dad used to come home, I'd cry because I didn't know who he was.
Oh wow.
And that's literally my biggest fear, that I come home from a tour like this tour. Now he's a lot more like, he's really emotive and he's just started crawling and everything like that. My biggest fear is getting home and him being like, who's this strange man? That's literally my biggest fear. But at the same time, we're in a modern world now, and we have FaceTime and things like that. And I speak to him every day on the phone. We FaceTime every day. Well, if we can. At the moment, it's a bit tricky because of the time zone changes and stuff. But hopefully, you know, that's keeps the connection there. And then when I get back, spend some time with
I
him.
think you've spent a lot of time with him recently as well, haven't you? So he definitely knows who you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know, I understand the
But
fear.
that is
100%.
literally the biggest fear. But apart from that, it's the best thing ever. It's
He's going to
amazing.
grow when, you know, like when he's like old enough to understand what we do. He's going to be
buzzing.
buzzing. Do you know what I mean? It's
Or
like,
it could go the other way.
Oh,
It
he
could just be like, oh, this sucks. I want to play Minecraft.
yeah. Another festival, Dad. I don't care. Just leave me alone.
No, like what the thing for me is, like, you know, when I was a kid and I looked at big festivals in the UK, like Download Festival and stuff, I always dreamt of going to them, and I didn't go to Download. I wasn't allowed to go, and I didn't have the money to go when I was younger. But the first time we ever went is when we played it, and I was like, oh my god, like I dreamt.
Really?
Yeah. I dreamt of going to Download Fest my whole life. And the first time we went, we played.
How old were you?
When was it? 2014, 2015, maybe?
Yeah, I was like 24, 25.
Yeah, so I was probably 19.
Yeah, so that's the first time I ever went. But like for my son, he'll get to come, but watch us playing like a big stage and stuff. And imagine the next day when he goes to school and he's like, all his friends are like, oh, what did you do yesterday? It's like, oh, I went to see my dad play Download main stage. You know what I mean? That's like cool. Yeah. So we've got to make it happen.
What a
that's
life, man.
You got to push.
Yeah.
That's
What a
the
life.
drive these days.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know. I always want to know like a father's like perspective and how, because I'm just mentally, emotionally preparing myself.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
know what?
time
You
comes.
should, if you're thinking about it, you should do it.
Yeah,
Just 100%. It's the best thing ever.
the best thing, huh?
Literally the best thing ever.
Mm.
Just think you're making a little version of yourself who,
Without all the shitty parts.
yeah.
yeah.
Like, it's just sick.
That's cool.
I just like, I don't want him to grow up too fast, because like where he's at now is incredible. But I want him to get to the stage where I can teach him how to ride a bike. And we can go to like
that's
the,
cool,
the
man.
bike
It's cool
the
to
bike
look-
track, and we could do some jumps, because that's where we met.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what we did,
We
yeah,
met
yeah.
there doing jumps on the bike track.
Yeah.
Like, take my son there. We can both go on his bikes. Like, try not to fall off.
Yeah. That's why we had to stop all that.
Yeah.
Come on.
we actually tried to go to bike track probably like 5 years ago.
It was
now.
like in COVID, weren't it?
Yeah, it was
'Cause
in
like when you
COVID.
could start meeting up again.
We were
Could
like,
be like outside.
Oh yeah.
we
just
were like, oh, we're going to do some jumps and stuff, and then we both fell off, and we were like,
Oh.
no.
Yeah,
No,
pretty
no,
much.
no,
It was
no,
like
no,
we were
no,
about
no.
to go home as well. It was like one of those were like, fuck it, let's send it around one more time.
One last time.
Literally, the first jump, I just overshot it and just like hit the fucking takeoff of the next ramp, and my knee was just like this big.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm out. Do you know what I mean? And then you about 4 jumps later, I just heard a crash, and he was just on the floor, and I was like, all right,
a mini earthquake.
yeah.
Oh, massive earthquake.
Oh man. Bush.
Yeah, and then we were like, right, well, if that was like our arms or like a wrist or
Dude,
a finger, do you know what I mean?
The
Like,
little things you know.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
look at the wrist.
it's like we're not playing, are we? You know?
No,
So-
you can't.
Imagine if you broke your arm before tour.
God, yeah.
You'd have to just like glue a pick to your cast. That'd be good.
We're
Ultra
playing
tremolo.
like Marty Friedman, mate, like this.
Nice.
Willie Adler.
Yeah.
Up to you guys. Up to you guys. We could. Should we grab a quick beer? Or we could bring some beers here. We have that Machine Head whiskey.
I'm down.
Send it.
Yeah. Let's
You guys
send
do
it.
Jay. Can we? Which one?
Any.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Whatever you decide.
Let's
Yeah.
do both. Both.
I'll not be able to stand up.
This is a celebration, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your band story. It's cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I haven't heard. So it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we've been like the same lineup since like 2010.
Since
You know,
It's
but
going
like
strong. Yeah, for
yeah,
real.
which is weird, like because we meet so many other bands obviously like over the years, and
Yeah.
it's crazy to think that some of the bands have like literally got one member in that's still like
Dude.
it's still like an original or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
People can't believe it.
Yeah, people are like,
They can't believe that we're the same lineup since 2010.
I can't believe I missed that. Usually I know like, oh shit, they got all the OG members. I should have known that. But yeah, how'd you guys do that?
literally no. Everyone's just been ever since we were kids. Like we'd always meet up every week and just jam for like 4 or 5 hours, just on a Sunday, and like regardless if we had any shows, which we didn't
thank
back in
you.
the day.
Round
Cheers,
one.
mate. Nice one. Thank you.
very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Nice one.
To you guys, man, and Riffs.
I think the key to sticking as the same lineup is just to have really thick skin and just take
For
the
real,
piss out
dude.
of each other constantly. Like we're not nice to each other at all.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's actually brutal how horrible we are to each other.
Did you guys happen? Did anyone see my story a couple days ago?
No, I don't think so.
No. I took it from Ronnie Radke. I saw his story and I was like, I saw the post. I went to the post. So I guess that there's studies now where
I did see it.
where
I did see it.
where friends and family that like rip.
If you rip each other, you're more likely to just remain good friends.
You
yeah,
are,
I saw it.
they're 300% more likely to be loyal and honest.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think
It's
there is
crazy,
truth
huh?
in that. To be fair, because you like if
Oh,
you
yeah, it's right here.
if you're able to like rip on your mates,
Thanks,
like
Jay.
Show off the box, you know?
oh nice.
Nice. Shotgun blast. That's hard.
Thanks,
That
Jay.
is hard.
Fuck.
But yeah, if you're able to like rip on your mates, like
Dude,
there's an obvious
big.
understanding that you know each other so well. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that obviously it makes you like comfortable around your friends
Totally.
as well, even if you're getting ripped on, like it's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone's got something you can rip them about.
Yeah. Hey Jay, can we find that study? It was fuck. I really want to see. I mean, there's probably like a few where if you talk shit to your friends, are you more your closer friends or you're more honest or something?
Yeah.
Study.
Yeah. How do you find that?
I
Piss,
wonder.
the piss
Yeah.
take study.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. There it is.
Yeah, well, that was quick.
Yeah, study shows friend groups who insult and make fun of each other are 300% more. AJ, I can't read it. Are 300% more likely to be loyal and honest.
Yeah,
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I think
to be
that's
honest.
right,
yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's right.
it does make sense. Well, it would make sense in terms of malevolence. yeah,
That's great.
It
Well,
has to make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, we would have killed each other by now.
yeah. There's no mercy in the bandwagon.
Yeah.
No mercy.
No mercy.
Hang on. Hang on.
There you go.
No mercy in the bandwagon. Right, we
true,
started a
man.
new track.
Get some MIDI drums up quick.
No, it's true, man. You gotta talk shit to each other, because if you insult each other, you only do it to someone that you really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's not offensive, is it? It's just
No.
fun and games, and like those things that you get ripped about are only things that your closest friends would know. Do you know what I mean? Or like
Yeah.
would pick up about your personality and stuff like that. So it's it's all
I think
kind-hearted.
like touring, because we've started from the bottom, like the true bottom. We used to tour in a car, and the car was only had four seats. It only had 4 seats and 4 seat belts. We used to fit all 5 of us in there. We used to have
With amps.
So I had my 6505 on my lap. Josh had his 5150 on his lap. We had 2 guitars laid across the top.
Yo, let's
top.
go.
Yeah, we had like merch in the boot, snare drum, everything, and we
Yeah.
drive all around England in this tiny little car, like being crushed, and like you'd end up sleeping in a car park in that car, or you'd sleep at your friend, like a random person's house. And I feel like if you haven't got that thick skin where you can just rip each other, you can never get through them situations that are super hard.
Yeah.
Because if
You have to
just
club
like,
together in
"Oh,"
those situations.
If you're like, "Oh, you all right, mate? Did you have a bad sleep or something?" You just be like, "Shut up."
Yeah. Shut up.
What are you moaning at? We've all been through the same last night. It was shit.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
on with it. Do you want to be in a band or what?
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
it. And
Do you want to do this?
You just send it, but
Yeah.
you need that.
It's honest.
You
Yeah.
just need that honest, like, get your shit together attitude, or you'll never get past that rough bit of touring.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking hard at the beginning.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, it
I
can
mean,
be rough.
We always like, we've calmed down so much now, but we used to be a nightmare. And we were talking about this the other day. So we were just saying we were so stupid when we first started touring, because hotels aren't expensive. We just used to get so fucked up.
Yeah.
We didn't plan on going to sleep.
Yeah.
like,
we just
Let's not sleep tonight.
Why the
Yeah,
fuck do you
yeah.
need a hotel if you're not sleeping?
Yeah, we're just gonna pay to not use it.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
So we're not getting. We used to
Wow.
just be
Just
like,
stay
we're not
out
getting a
all
hotel on band. It's a waste of money,
Yeah,
and we just get smashed and stay wherever.
we just spend all the money on other stuff
Yeah.
instead of
And then-
hotels.
yeah.
It's like the money that we'll spend on the room we could get on a case of beer.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
Yeah.
a bottle.
Yeah.
And like the first time we toured Europe, they would put your beers in the fridge, and when they were gone, they just
restock
They
them,
just
yeah.
stock it back up, and we were like, "Whoa, what's happening here?"
So this is the best thing
This is
ever.
the best. And we would get paid like 100
100 euros or
100
something.
euros to go play in Belgium and just get smashed. And then our driver, so a friend of ours called Shreddy, Tom Redman, shout out to Shreddy.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
an
Shout out
absolute
Shreddy.
legend. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for Shreddy, because at the beginning of our tour, he decided to buy this 7-seater car just to drive. Like, he didn't need a 7-seater car. He was just a single guy. He didn't need
Yeah,
that
yeah.
big car, but he bought that specific car just so he could drive us around on tour.
Oh wow,
Which was amazing.
Yeah,
He's
what a
such
boy.
a legend. So we owe it to him forever. But he drove
Definitely
us
owe it to him.
around, and then what he'd do is, like, we'd play the show, and then we probably wouldn't even tell him we're going out. We'd just disappear. And then he's like, "Where the fuck is everyone?" And then we just like text him to come and fetch us at like 7 a.m. from a random spot, and he'd just turn up. And there's this one story from this time where we went out all night. We were out on tour. Who was it? Was it Heavy Hands or someone? I can't remember what band we were on tour with.
Which
But
story a bit?
we ended up at like a scout hut in a random field. So it was like,
Yeah, I think it was
like-
no second chance, because
it was
that was
like-
like the first time we went to Europe.
oh
wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was like a scout hut or something, and we're in this scout hut. It was like a weird Euro techno rave where they don't finish any song and they just start another one, and then it comes in with some sort of national anthem that they all start singing. It was very strange. And we were out all night. We messaged Shreddy to come and pick us up at like 7 a.m. He turns up in his car, and we all just got in it, and we were so hammered. No one had been to sleep, and we were absolutely.
We had a gig the next day
had
in,
it- so
in Leeds,
We
in
come back
England
to
as well.
Oh, it was Ghost Fest. It was Ghost Fest.
Yeah, it was Ghost.
It was
oh
Ghost
my
Fest.
God,
I remember
yeah.
Ghost Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we had Ghost Fest the day after, right? We all got in this car.
I've seen you at Ghost Fest, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen you at Ghost Fest.
Dang.
So we got in this car. We were driving back to the ferry port at 7 a.m. Like everyone's eyes were shut, and then Bano he'd been sick.
I was in the, we call it Mega Bitch.
We call it Mega Bitch.
It's the 7th seat in the back.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got all
Back.
the gear like here, and you've got this tiny space in the back. But you can shotgun Mega Bitch. And
Shotgun Mega Bitch.
means you're the biggest lad.
You're the biggest
so,
lad.
you know, there's ways around it, you know.
So he's in there. He's been sick.
Yeah,
And it
in my
starts,
T-shirt
and
like
it
this.
starts to smell, and everyone's like, "Have you been sick?" And everyone's looking around, no. And then we turn, we're like this. Have you been sick? And he's like, I ain't been, what do you mean? I ain't been sick. And then we'll just like look a bit more, and it's like all down him and stuff. And then everyone starts going
It was
like,
bad. Everyone's like, it was like Family Guy, you know, where they all just start throwing up.
Yeah.
You puked all over your shirt.
Yeah.
I was like cradling it in my shirt.
So-
Not my proudest moment.
So we're like,
obviously, but-
Shreddy, stop the car. Everyone got out, and everyone was being sick. It was horrendous. And I was like holding it.
The smell of puke will just.
I was just holding it in, and I was just sat in the chair like this, and I was just like, I'm not getting out.
Do
I was
some
so
breathing
wasted.
exercises.
I was so wasted. I was like, I can't get out, and if I get out, I can't get back in. So we're driving to this ferry port. Everyone gets back in, whatever, and then like half an hour later, it just came all at once, and I was just like, oh my god! And I wound down the window,
Yeah.
and I was like throwing up out the window. And then we turned up at the ferry port. It was horrendous. Turned up at the ferry port, and I was so embarrassed that I'd been sick all the way down the side of the car. You know, if you pull up to like the stalls where you get your ticket and stuff. So I'd like taken one of my socks off. And then we didn't
You
have
wiped down the car?
Dude, we didn't have any waters, and I just shout out to Monster Energy. I just got a can of Monster and just like washed it off the car with a can of Monster and my sock, and then we went to Ghostfest and played Ghostfest.
on Porsche Reddy's brand new car.
Yeah,
Everyone in the band's thrown up in
dude,
it.
I probably played Ghostfest with one sock on.
Just didn't bring any
Yeah,
clothes.
didn't even care.
That's a good friend, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shreddy, what a dude.
Where
Yeah.
did you guys meet him?
Just at local shows.
Shows?
He was always in the pit moshing, and he was just at all the gigs that we went to. So you
Sick.
just
Nice.
generally start chatting, you know. And then he used to come and see Malev like in the little pubs and that, didn't he? So it was like He was a big supporter
He was always
straight
moshing
away.
at every show, and then we just ended up being really good friends with him, and he gave us a few lifts and stuff. And do you know what? It worked really well for Shreddy because I don't really know his full background and everything, but when he first drove us to Europe was the first time he'd been out of England.
Oh,
Yeah.
special.
So, and then we took him round with us, and we did everything and stuff like that. And then a few years later, we took him on tour with Despised Icon, which is like his favourite band of all time. And he came and did the whole tour with us,
tight.
and he loved it. So
That's tight.
it was sick. It was good.
Yeah, we repaid him in the end.
yeah.
Ruined his car.
I
but
don't think we've ever repaid Shreddy.
No.
The
Forever in
The
debt.
shit he used to put up with.
Yeah, I don't even remember half of it. to be
Imagine
fair.
trying to. Imagine trying to find
I mean,
any
ignorance
member.
is bliss for me there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
Imagine trying to find any member of our band in 2010.
No.
Yeah,
It's not happening.
Yeah,
is it?
we were all different people, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I look back to myself when I was 30. I'm like, wow, it's me, but it's a different person.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking.
This is
it's
my
weird.
first beer of the whole tour.
Really?
Is it?
Yeah,
Bloody
this is my
hell.
first beer
Fair
of the
play.
whole tour.
Appreciate that, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, a cheers to more riffs.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we're very calm now. Very.
Hey,
very
Con. So I heard you. I heard you say that you would never play through a Kemper, and now look at you.
Oh yeah. So
Easy
So,
words.
who told you that? It's a good story that.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
So I mean we all said it. I love valve amps. I love 6505. That's my favorite amp of all time. Nothing will ever beat it in my eyes, unless I find something better. But I always said we used to do tours with like death metal bands and whatever, tech like Fallujah and stuff, and I used to just rip on them and say, "How many games have you got on your computer? And can you play Snake on that? And
Oh, yeah.
that's not real. And why do you need that? And I'm never getting one of them." And I said, "I'm never ever getting one." And then we were on tour with Despised. Was it Despised? I think
Yeah,
Despised Icon.
yeah.
And literally every other band on the package had a Kemper or they had a Axe Effects or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were in Poland. The power's bad
Sure.
to the venue.
Yeah.
And what was happening is the power into the valve head, when the power was too little, the valves were just not working properly. It was making everything go clean. So I'd be playing and it was going like in a wave. So it was like clean.
Yeah.
And then the power would come back in and it was too much. So then it'd just be uncontrollable squealing, then back down to clean, then squealing. And I sort of had this realization then where I was like, because we were getting a little bit more further along in our career. And I was just like, if we have one bad show on a tour of 30 days, 30 shows, it doesn't matter to us because, it sucked. Nothing worked. All the gear didn't work, whatever.
Yeah.
But then that fan that's watched you, they've had a shit show, but that's the only time they've been to see you.
Yeah, it's one
Yeah.
shot.
Right? So I had this realization where, you know what? There's a reason people are going digital, and it's because it's reliable. It just works.
Yeah.
The power doesn't really matter because they're using such low voltage supplies actually internally that, it just works. And I was just like, okay, we'll get a Kemper. So we switched to Kempers. We must have had Kempers for 6 years or something.
Yeah, we had
They
them
were
in the rack for
fantastic.
ages, yeah.
They were really, really good. And I never really looked back from then. Because
For a live setting, it's just so much easier, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
like you could take your whole live rig on a memory stick. Do you know what I mean? And just like ask a festival if you were flying in to provide a Kemper. You don't even have to fly anything.
yeah,
Do you know what I
can
mean?
just take your stick.
And you have your whole rig there. You just take the pedal board. You've got everything that you need. Whereas it's like sometimes they're like you advance for a Mesa Boogie or a 6505 and you get there and it's like a JCM 800 and you're like,
I've been there.
well, I don't
many
have the
times.
pedals to make this sound the way I
It's a
need it to
nightmare.
sound, you know?
It's a nightmare.
We used to just tour with a noise gate, didn't we? A tuner and a noise
Yeah,
gate.
tuner and noise gate. Yeah.
And sometimes we'd hit a fest, like you said, and you'd get a Marshall and you've got no tube screamer and you're just like, well, I can't even play.
yeah, it's
You know
just
what I mean?
good.
Well,
Well,
it's going to be like School of Rock without a tube screamer.
there's going to be thousands of people there and it's going to sound shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I've been there, man.
this is good.
So we got the Kempers. We used them for a long time. They were fantastic. And then Max from Neural basically gave us 6, so 2 each of the Neurals. And it's just, I think they sound a lot better. What I always refer to with Kempers is they have like this high mid-range fuzz where you can especially on a high gain tone. The clean tone's fine, but on a Kemper, the sort of high mid is a bit fuzzy, and that's the only way I can describe it. And that's like, for me, it didn't sound as true. And then when we first got these, we took them to the studio we used for the last record, and we did an A and B. So we modeled my 6505. And then we put it through this, and we actually both thought that what was coming out of this was the real amp, and what was coming out of the 6505 was
it was like a backwards.
was a capture or whatever. It was backwards. So then I was just like, cool,
That's it.
we'll use these.
Yeah, we were amazed, weren't we?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
sick. Oh, it actually sounds
So
good.
I mean, they say these are algorithmically perfect, and I agree. So never look back.
Never look
There you
back.
go.
But do you know what? When we tour, we've just got these amazing cabs from Laney, which is a LFR 412. So it's a 4x12 powered, full range, full frequency FR cab. And it's
A powered cab?
yes, powered
Yeah.
cab. So it's 2,600 watt powered cab from Laney.
Holy shit.
They
sick.
actually
I never heard about that in my
yeah.
life.
Oh, it's incredible.
Devin
So,
Townsend was like one of the guys who's like,
yeah, Devin
build
Townsend
it.
helped like design it. It's that one there in the middle. That one, yeah. So it's 2,600 watts.
Holy shit.
The
Yeah,
amazing
powered.
thing about these cabs, right, is they've got this thing called Lair.
Okay.
And that is, you stick a USB cable into the back of the cab, and you've got some software. And you can EQ the cab.
Holy
So I can run...
crap.
So the way that we run it now is we've got an output from each of our quads that's just... So we have 2 going to front of house, and then I've got just a split off one, which is just exactly the same signal that goes into these LFR cabs. and you can EQ it, so you don't need to change any settings on your quad. You don't even need to remove your cab from your capture or whatever, and you can EQ it on your laptop, and it sounds amazing.
An EQ
And,
cab.
honestly,
this is where we're at right now.
Yeah, yes. It's
Dude,
getting mad.
these-
This is nuts.
The
dude.
future is now, mate. You know what I mean?
These are the best things ever. So I think a lot of other companies now are jumping on the bandwagon, but Laney hooked us up with these straight away.
Wow.
And
Holy shit.
we've got 4 of these. Laney, luckily, they gave us 4 because they're amazing. And you just link them to each other, and it's, the mega. So
That's the future right there. That's literally the future.
that is literally the future. But when we don't have the privilege of taking them with us, because they are like 48 kilograms each. I don't know what that is in pounds, but they're very heavy.
Yeah.
Almost 100 pounds.
Yeah, it's like they're super heavy. So obviously we're not freighting them over.
Oh, yeah.
So-
105.
Yeah, so when good maths that.
There you go.
So when we tour over here, like on this tour, we're just running the outputs of the quad into. Luckily, Nick from Pain of Truths letting us use his 6505s. So we run directly into the send return. So the effects loop return. So if you run into an effects loop return of a valve amp, you bypass the entire preamp section and you just get to the phase splitter and the power output valves. So you don't have any volume control. If you touch any knobs on the front of the amp, it does nothing. You're literally just injecting sound in. You're getting the full output. So that's why we use the volume control on the
I
quad.
see. Yeah.
So we use the power amps, just whatever we can find basically, while we're not in Europe or nearby.
Yeah, I was curious. I'm like, damn, I knew you guys were using Kemper for a while, and I was like looking at pictures. Like, I was like, oh wait, are they on quads now? It's cool.
Well, everything's in the rack, so we don't have anything on the stage anymore, which is way better.
Nice.
But Con's built these pedal boards, so they look a bit like the Kemper ones. So maybe that's if you've seen that on the photos. But we just got them for this tour, to be fair, because he's been at home making them.
Yeah, you want to go on my Instagram.
Okay, so
Konvikt.Kustoms on Instagram.
it was something. So since I started my quad journey, and it's actually been an issue, which is probably why you did it. I'm looking, what foot switch do I get? Because I don't want it on the fucking stage, and I can't find anyone that says do this.
This is what you need to do.
What you did.
Easy, man. Honestly.
Okay, okay, Con. So
Go on the second picture, and I'll talk you through it.
Walk
quick.
us through this, please.
So this is what we used to run. This is an RJM Mastermind LT. It's a fantastic MIDI controller, and RJM are an amazing company. So we had everything on this board. You've got to have a MIDI controller. You need to send down to a tuner, and everything just gets so messy because you got MIDI in and out. We're using these things called Kenton line drivers, because if you're using a standard MIDI cable, it's only good for up to 50 feet. So when we play like main stages and big, like 60 meters wide stages, you can't run it on a standard MIDI cable. So the line driver converts MIDI to Cat5. So you can run up to 500 meters down a single Cat5 line. So what my idea here, this all works in this picture that you can see now, but it's just messy. And then what happens in transit is the little MIDI 5-pin DIN connectors come out, and you just end up like...
I've seen that.
Josh is fantastic at playing guitar, but when it comes to gear, he just wants it to work.
Yeah.
And if something gets unplugged in transit, you can't even tell that they've come all the way out. And then he'd be like, we'd start the set, he'd be shouting over, it's not
I ain't got a
changing.
clue.
Oh my God, it's not changing, what's happening? And it literally, I could walk over and plug a MIDI cable back in, and we're back on rolling. But to stop that, I was like, okay, I'm going to put all this shit, all this mess inside one thing. So you can click to the next slide. I reverse engineered the Boss TU3S. Then luckily RJM, again, fantastic company, they sent me the drawings. So I reverse engineered everything. I built these enclosures. I turned some stuff on a lathe, blah, blah, blah. And then I put all of those things in. So keep going across. I put the Boss TU, you may as well keep going. Sorry. I'm ruining the talk over. Go back one. So here I've wired all of the things externally, so they're all internal now. So we have the Kenton line drivers coming in. I modify the Kenton line drivers as well, so they carry the 9-volt power to the pedal. And then it powers the Boss TU3S, it powers the RGM Mastermind, and then the MIDI in and outs are hardwired to the line driver from the RGM. And it's basically all in this one pedal now, where we plug 2 cables in, which are loomed together, and it works. And you don't need to do anything. And it sends and receives MIDI as well. So what I've got set up on this tour as well, if you go to the next slide now, the top left button on my floor controller now, my MIDI foot switch.
Oh my God, it works.
That actually starts my backing tracks.
Yeah.
So I have one pedal. I can tune my guitar. I can change all my patches, and I can start my backing tracks. And that's so. I basically,
it's ridiculous.
I'd started doing all this kind of stuff with the gear just to alleviate the problems that everyone else seemed to be having.
Yes.
And then I could talk forever, but we've developed this device that you see there. It's called the RSW in the rack. So this piece of gear, we've just put it to the market. So what this is it powers both quad Cortexes. So you've got a main and a spare quad. So what we've got here is we have your input from a guitar comes into the RSW. It's powering the quads, and you can switch between A and B, but it switches the inputs and the outputs. And then the fantastic bit about this kit is if one of them dies, you can switch to the second one, and it just switches all your connections in to the second one. So you've got no problems, you just carry on playing. But the main feature of this is that we have got an auto switching function. So I had this idea just from like playback rigs, how they work. So we feed a tone, like a sine wave, into the main quad Cortex. That tone then goes back to the RSW, and it detects if anything's wrong with that tone. And if the tone is broken, it automatically switches from A to B. So it basically just switches all the ins and outs from your main to your spare quad.
Wow.
So if my main quad Cortex on this tour, I've been using this device now for about 6 months. Took it on every tour, took the prototypes on tour, but it's just hit the market. You can get it at Sweetwater.
You can get it at Sweetwater.
You can get it at Sweetwater. And Neat Audio, he is the US distributor for this device. So RSW Neat. Yeah. So basically, you should, if you're running 2 quads or you're running a quad, you need to get one of these bits of gear because it does everything. It's got MIDI through box in it. It powers everything. It's a great bit of kit. And that just, it reduces the need to have like 8 different devices.
Yeah.
Which all cost way more collectively than one of these costs.
So this helps things make basically more simple.
Yeah,
And,
it's just basically all you need is this one U rack, 2 quad Cortexes, and the cables between them, and you'll never have a problem ever again.
Holy crap, this is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it works with Axe effects, and you know we incorporated it so it works with the FM-free floor controller for Axe effects, so it'll switch one controller between 2 Axe effects as well, which is great. So it's a good bit of kit. And if you are running 2, you should definitely buy one.
And this is you.
This is
explaining.
my marketing video. Yeah.
This is dope, dude. You actually did something about it. You're like, fuck this. I'm gonna figure out how to fix this problem.
Yeah, well,
That's awesome, man.
There's so many people just, having problems with stuff, and not that they rarely go wrong, but when you get to a certain level of being an artist, you can't afford to have anything go wrong with anything.
Yeah, totally.
So you just want this peace of mind. Like mine's never failed; it's never even switched. But if it did switch, if mine did switch,
need to switch.
if it failed,
Yeah.
I know that in 0.5 of a second I'm back going and it's fine.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
It's like you wouldn't even notice. It's that quick.
No, I wouldn't
You
notice,
wouldn't even notice, like in a live setting.
Yeah, people wouldn't know, huh?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. Awesome, man. Well, shit, should we, yeah,
I've bored you with my tech.
No,
now.
no. Okay, so where? Okay, just to wrap this up, where? So people should go to Sweetwater.
Yeah, so Sweetwater, you can buy this already built into rigs that you can just purchase to plop your quad Cortexes in as a turnkey solution. Or you can go to Neat, and Neat will sell the individual 1U rack RSW. If you're in the UK, you can get it from Frettronics Engineering in Glasgow. Or just hit me up on Instagram and we can sort it out.
Are you planning to mass produce the actual like MIDI controller? Are you trying to?
Do you know what? We've got another product coming out that's in the works at the moment, which alleviates the need for the MIDI controller. I might do a couple of one-off runs of that. I need to talk to. If we weren't doing this today, I was going to go and see RGM because they're based here as well. I think.
Oh wow!
I was going to go and talk to them about it, but I can't say too much. But the other thing I've got planned, it's not really for people changing patches on the floor. It's a solution for people running tracks in their like if they're running MIDI just to their 2 quads that are racked.
Okay.
It's a solution for them to be able to tune on stage without the need for a million different things and running audio to stage and back and things like that. So
Okay.
that's that'll probably hit the shelves next year.
Nice. Yeah, we're always trying to make things more simple, but making things simple is hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is really
we're
hard.
always here like, how can we make them more simple and dumber? And we're like trying to make things more simple. It's like it's
Yeah.
hard. How do you fix this problem right here?
Yeah, it's
Without sacrificing something like.
Totally.
Yeah.
You can't. You
you
can't
just
be
got to
sacrificing.
make a brand new product that does it. That's what I found. You've literally just got to think of the solution.
It's as easy as that.
build it.
Honestly.
It's not easy. I mean, it took us over a year to develop it and perfect it.
Of course, man. That's a lot, dude.
But
Holy
we,
moly, man.
Everything in that's like the highest quality audio parts and equipment that you can get, because I just said to Ollie, who I'm in partnership with it from Frettronics, I just said to him, look, I don't want a device that's built that's designed to make loads of money. I want one that's built to be fair, that will last people a lifetime. So it's like got Carnhill isolation transformers in it, which are from like Neve consoles and things like that.
Wow.
Like it's really high spec that's designed, because this is not aimed at a bedroom player, right? No one needs a redundancy quad Cortex for their bedroom project.
Yeah, it's
You know,
for professionals.
It's for like Coldplay's guitarists and
Yeah.
you know.
That's great, man.
So
But then that probably puts you in a position like whoever you get into business with, it has to be an honest partnership. You know, say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fucking
exactly, yeah.
solid. So it's awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, man. Should we get into some more riffs, dude? I was listening to
Hell yeah.
I was listening to Keep Your Distance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what are they doing in the intro?
Well, what the?
Oh god, I'll mess it up now.
Yeah.
He loves this bit.
We've just got this constant joke in our band that I just play it like.
He's always got a swing on it. So.
How you been fucking it up or what?
Yeah.
Nice.
Play the whole song.
Hey, that were pretty tight till I messed that bit up.
Oh, we're doing all right.
It sounds sick in these headphones.
It does, doesn't it?
Not bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Jones.
there's no click because you guys were just
Yeah.
locked in,
We've
dude.
been doing it since we were 11.
Yeah, that's
few
it,
years
mate.
ago, that,
Fully
yeah.
locked in, me and him. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Dude, you guys are locked in, man.
Few years riffing.
I could feel and hear the history and a friendship. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
awesome,
sick.
man. How did you guys come up with those riffs? How did that pop up?
Josh writes all the riffs. All of them. I think in the history of Malev, my finger's bleeding. I think
He's
in the
fucking ripping.
I think in the history of Malevolence, I've done 2 or 3 riffs in all the albums. And like we spoke earlier, everyone in the band's got their own place, and
Yeah.
Bano's is the riffs.
Nice.
Yeah. I like write the songs, the
Sweet.
music for the songs, really. But in terms of that one, I think I don't even really remember what I was trying to go for. I always found that like a lot of the songs previously had been in like starting on open, classic. So I just thought like what had happened, if I tried to start around a different fret and like push me to maybe like write something that is a bit different or use some different shapes. Do you know what I mean? Because if like in that verse, like you've got to keep that anchored. Do you know what I mean? Because that's
Yeah.
the root note. So
It's the root note,
no
yeah.
longer you know, mate.
Yeah, you gotta.
So it's like push me to use some different shapes and just see what had happened, really. But I think I just wanted something bouncy that was going to be kind of chugging. I think we'd been on tour with like Dying Fetus, so like watching them every night. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted something that, some like syncopated sort of like
Straight.
chugging. And then it's just like a little tail lick, I guess. But yeah, I was trying to like think about it in like a sort of A, B, A, C sort of thing. So would be like the A, I guess.
And that's a B.
Yeah, that's a B, and then
And that's
it's like the A, and then a C, and then A,
interesting.
and then it's like B, just slightly different, and then A, and then D. Just to so you've got like a hook that keeps coming around, but then it's like varies slightly every time.
Man, you gotta be. The way you think about riffs is crazy. It's like
I've been playing guitar since I was like 7. So,
7, okay.
Yeah,
That, that
more.
explains
It's like I'm 30 at the end of this month, so it's like most of my life has been playing guitar. So like
damn, yeah, you're going on what, like fucking 20,
23 years.
23 years, yeah. Holy crap. Because usually, like, we will, like, okay, this is, like, the A part, and this is, like, the B part. You're like, oh, wait, this is one riff. This riff has a A part and a B. And a
Yeah, I
C
just
part.
want it to be like, I want to think about it in terms of like how it repeats. So I want it to be catchy. So there's like
course.
something
That's important.
that keeps happening. So like the A part, I guess.
Yeah.
But then for me personally, I don't want to play the same thing 4 times. Do you know what I mean? Because it's, I don't know, I want the songs and the riffs that we play to be challenging for me as a player, and like, it's just like a personal gripe. I'm like, I don't want to just play like, do you know what I
He
mean?
always makes them too hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a challenge every time.
It's like, how can I piss off Khan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Do you know what,
well-
though? Go on.
I was gonna say, now you do a lot of the singing though. It's like that's your part in it. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I give you I'll like do something over the top of it if you're
Yeah.
playing the chords or whatever. Like, but that was like a big learning process because originally we'd just not think about the vocals at all, and like the first couple of albums were literally just like riff soup, and it'd just be no repeats, new
Yeah.
riff, new riff, new riff. Try and make it as hard as possible, and then we'd try and put vocals over it, and it'd just be like,
It's like-
impossible, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the first album's just like no structure to it whatsoever. It's just riff
Yeah.
after riff, and then it's a really hard time trying to be like, how's this song end?
yeah.
And you'd have to think through the whole song to even get to the ending because the riffs are just crazy. But there are some really hard to sing over riffs that we still got.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
It's,
that hard, he doesn't know how to play it.
yeah. It's been a while. Got a lot to say. Bring up my name.
That one wasn't as tight, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sounds great.
no, you're right. It's some of them were like really hard to sing over, aren't they?
Yeah, some of them are pretty mad.
But yeah, I just want stuff to be catchy but like fun to play.
Yeah.
I always find it's like they're always fun to play, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like the riffs.
I think that like the way, do you know, Josh explains all this A/B theory and stuff like that, because I'm not a massive theory person. I just think of them as they feel sick to play.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
almost every riff that's a Malev riff that you've written, they all feel so good to play. Like the one we just played then, like just pretty much all of them. I don't think there's many awkward ones.
No, I guess like the
Just
awkward ones are
all
like
like-
baried in like track 9.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Track
mean?
9
You're
awkward
like,
riff, yeah.
yeah, just like once you've recorded them, it's like never really sees the light of day again.
Yeah, so Con, you're kind of like, that's kind of like your filter, right? You'll bring some riffs or songs, and hey, this feels good. This is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that when I hear a riff, you know, when you teach me how to play it makes me more excited.
Yeah.
So like when I
Yeah.
was learning some stuff off the new record, and like we'd sit down and we go through it, and then at the end I'm like smiling and I'm like, that's actually sick.
Yeah, yeah,
Because when
yeah.
I think that
sick.
it's the same for, well, I don't know if it's just me or if it's the same for everyone, but you first hear a riff from a surface as a listener listening in, and you don't really understand the intricacies of that riff the first couple of times.
Yeah.
It was like the first time I listened to Fallujah, and what's that record called? Flesh Prevails.
Yeah.
When we toured with them, and you know,
Oh, yeah, that
I watched
one's actually sick,
I watched
yeah.
them live, and I just didn't understand the music because it was hard for my brain to process it. And then I went and I spanned the record a few times on some long drives on that tour, and then I was like, this is actually incredible.
Yeah.
Because like you miss
Yeah.
all the extra intricate notes, and what you thought
Yeah.
was the riff has got like 16 more notes in that riff. And,
Yeah.
like Scott Carstairs, he's an incredible guitarist.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was
he's
just like,
really good.
oh my god, and that's what I'm saying. Like when Josh writes a riff and we record it, we stick it on the record, and I come to learn my part of it, whether it's the main or the harmony or whatever, and I get into it, it's just like so much more intricate than the surface level of looking at that riff. And then that's when you're like, oh my god, this is not only sick that you understand like every note being played, but the feel it gives you when you're playing it, it's just like, this is sick.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks.
You're just fucking ripping, dude.
Yeah, that's true though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I hope so, yeah.
And then like
I hope
even-
so.
Yeah,
even like the fast riffs, like in OBG, that's like my favorite riff to play live because it's literally just like
Just chugging.
2, 3, 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap,
That's like
That's a riff.
and it's fast.
Big circle pit moment.
And
That's
you've
it.
got
It's like,
you've got every element of what is a sick riff to me in there because you've got your chugs,
And chugs.
you've got your fucking
Triplets and that,
triplets, your chugs, your fast bit, you've got your nice slides, and then you've got your run,
Yeah, yeah.
and
True.
it just everything together, and then it repeats, and you're just like, this is sick.
yeah.
So
Comes
that-
back nice as well,
yeah,
doesn't
it
it, after
comes
the
back
chorus?
super nice,
Yeah.
and then it's like got a big chorus, and then it comes straight back into that riff again. It's just like
yeah,
gives
yeah.
you that the face.
Yeah. you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's back.
We used to like,
Back.
well, I still do, to be fair. It's like when I write a demo, like I do think more about the vocals, obviously, these days, and like putting verse parts or whatever, you know, to like make it a song.
Yeah.
But generally, like every riff would have like a bit where the crowd would participate. Do you know what I mean? So if it's a fast riff, I want it to make you want to circle pit.
Yeah.
If it's like, you know what I mean? If it's half time, I want it to be bouncing. Do you know what I mean? If it's a breakdown, it needs to be an obvious breakdown where
yeah.
you're going to mosh. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
every part, like whether it's a side to side or like a 2-step or whatever, you know, it's like I want each part of the song. Not necessarily everyone is gonna do it, but you could do it. You know what I mean? You could mosh through the whole set. You know what I mean? If you wanted to. So, or if it's a chorus, I want it to be like anthemic. So, you know, it's like a big sing along, and everyone can get involved. You can crowd surf. You can get on your mate's shoulders and like sing it. And I mean, I just want it. Every time I just think of like a huge festival crowd. Is it a wall of death? Is it the circle pit around the sound tower? Is it a million people crowd surfing? Do you know what I mean? Or is it like a 2-step and there's just like tons of people in a tiny room like going at it? You know what I mean? It's like that's what I want, or that's what I envision in my head when I'm like writing a song.
What was what was the working title of On Broken Glass? Was it Festival Banger? Which one's Festival Banger?
That were Keep Your Distance.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
so,
Festival
like,
Banger.
everything's like
That was the working title?
Yeah.
Festival Banger.
Well, look what happened.
So everything's like
Congratulations.
It
That's
worked.
cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
everything's
cool.
written with like the intention.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. So it's like
Well, that's what I mean.
hard bits.
With that, I just wanted like the intro. You know, like if you're a massive festival and you just came out, it's like
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what it's
it's
like. You get everyone cheering,
Yeah.
and then I play it wrong.
but like it builds like nice.
Yeah,
Do you know
it
what I mean?
builds
And
good.
there's like a sing along bit, and then keep your distance. You know what I mean? It's like just everyone just thinking like Korn at Little Woodstock and that. Do you know what I mean? It's just like everyone jumping. That's like all I wanted, you know. So,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. One of the most iconic moments in heavy music, dude.
Yeah,
You
that's
see,
it.
Korn playing Woodstock. It's
it's
just
just
fucking,
like waves, isn't it? It's
fucking wave,
absolutely
dude.
mad. It's kind of upsetting that there'll probably never be a gig as good as that ever.
Probably
again.
not, dude. You
It's
need,
way too much health and safety.
you need at least 300,000 people out of their minds.
Yeah.
Where I've got like this huge nostalgia thing with them, because that's what we grew up on, right?
Yeah.
Like that's prime time me getting
Prime
into music.
Yeah,
just in general, like obviously just random pop stuff before then, but when I hit like my early teens, it was like Limp Bizkit. I've still got the Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water original CD. I've still got Linkin Park Hybrid Theory original. Like that kind of stuff. It was like burnt onto tapes. My older brother is a year older than me. He'd like bring them and he'd be like, check this out. Hatebreed, Perseverance and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I've got this huge nostalgia thing now where I'd love to just do a show or a festival where everyone just handed the phone in. I know Tool did one recently where you had to put your phone in a bag, but you could keep it. It's like what comedy shows do now when they make you put it in a bag.
Yes.
But I'd love it because if you look at like Woodstock and then like Evanescence playing Rock Am Ring and
just no
like all that
phones
stuff,
out.
there's no
Yeah.
phones. Everyone's just living in the moment. No one, like, I think people in crowds nowadays are too scared to do something crazy because they know it'll be immortalized forever.
Yeah.
And
There's definitely an
I didn't
element
think
of
about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it in that way.
And I just think that, do you know, back then, kids were doing crazy shit like this. It's immortalized forever because it's on a big camera. But there's no one putting one in the face going, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, it's
like
it's not like you,
You
it's
know,
not like you'd be tagged a million times in that
Yeah.
if you were that
Yeah.
guy on
exactly.
that video. Do you know what I mean?
They wouldn't have seen this for 10 years. This video probably.
He might never have seen
Yeah,
it.
might never have seen it.
Yeah, do you know what I
But
mean?
like now, you look at a gig now, everyone is just phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they're just like, I don't know, just saying, "Look at me,
I am here."
I am here."
Yeah.
Rather than being like,
Yeah.
"I'm just gonna go like
It's cool.
crazy in
Yeah.
the pit."
It's weird, isn't it? Because like on the other hand, it's cool to see like videos of the crowd's perspective after you've played. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it sounded
Yeah.
sick. It looked mental. Like people are like having
Yeah.
such a good time.
You know what does give me hope is that I've been going to shows and being like the old guy. There's like this where or like around here and where I'm from, they're having like the smaller shows, and there's like this resurgence of other genres. And these are kids. They're like 16, 15. I'm like the old guy,
Yeah.
borderline creepy there. And but what I was very surprised at was the people that were on their phones, like in between bands, were me and some of my friends.
Ah.
Everyone that was in high school were just watching the bands.
Yeah.
I was like, gave me like a little like, oh shit, I thought I knew It gave me like a little bit of hope there. It's pretty cool. And then the bands were over. Then everyone went outside and people were just talking.
Yeah, that's sick.
Talking. I was like, I wonder where this is going. I wonder where it's gonna.
Yeah.
But then you go to like one of our shows, your shows or our shows, like the phones are just.
Yeah.
I
Everywhere.
was like, I wonder. Like, I wonder where it's going. You know.
I wonder if we're going to reach a point where everyone's so oversaturated with just staring at the screen that it's going to go full 180 and people are going to get brick phones and start moshing.
We never know, man. We never really know where anything's going to go, you know?
Yeah, I think there's
I don't
like,
know.
I've heard like recently, there's like groups of young, like trendy kids or whatever, and they're like refusing to have iPhones and shit. Do you know what I mean? They're like back on the Motorola flips and that.
Let's
Do you know
go.
what I mean? So they're like,
That's so hipster.
yeah,
isn't
it's like it's the most hip thing ever. But do you know what I
Monty,
mean?
can I borrow your flip phone?
I mean, dude, overnight, people were wearing baggy pants.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, all my pants in my closet is now just useless. If you want look at trends, I'm like, oh shit, people were wearing what I was wearing in high school, is baggy Dickies.
Yeah. That's it.
I should have kept those pants.
It comes back around like every 10, 15 years.
Everything
That's
is-
crazy.
Everything comes
It'll be
back
skinny
around.
again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, yeah, Con, at least for you, the dad bod's in.
That's it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty sick. Dude. You're in, dude.
I'm in.
But in 15 years, you might gotta fucking trim it up.
I'll be a granddad by then.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
15 years. I'll be on my last legs.
How old are you, Con?
34.
34. Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah, I'm the granddad of the band.
Yeah. Granddad.
Yeah, look over, make sure no one's fucking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, they all look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucked up again. Granddad's here, look.
How are you guys? On time? Do you guys need to get back to the venue?
To be
Or?
fair, no.
What time is it?
Counterparts will have only just got some stuff on the stage, I would have thought. We usually sound check about 5. 4.
5? Okay, great. Because
half
I
4,
do have a
5.
couple more questions, but we have hit an hour and a half. But I have a few more questions.
Yeah,
That's
cool. Chilling out.
Let's do let's hear about the Ibanez and the Jackson.
Yeah. All right. Sick. Yeah. This is
What's this thing?
This is the first custom shop that I've got off Ibanez. It was made in LA.
Congrats, man.
Shout out to Tyler. Buzzing. But yeah, literally, I got the opportunity to get one. I just always wanted a reverse headstock. Like, obviously, being left-handed, there's limits to what you can get. Do you know what I mean? Even if you are endorsed, like Ibanez, they do a couple of models in left-handed. So you know, when I got to choose before, it'd be like, you can have this one that's like $400 or this one that's like $2,000.
Yeah.
So obviously,
there's
you know
no
what I mean?
in between. Yeah.
Yeah,
true,
so there's no in between.
true.
But obviously, you go for the higher one. Do you know what I mean? Of course. But so I just wanted to make something that was easier for me to travel with, easier to play live. Like all the left-handed guitars that they do at the minute all have a Floyd, which is fine, but I don't really use it. So there's not really much point in me having it. So I just opted for fixed bridge. Don't really need the tone knob. So I got rid of that, like most people do these days, to be honest. Reverse headstock, got the locking tuners, and I based it on the Squire Strat that my dad bought me when I was like 7. So it was a Sunburst with the white pickguard, you know, Squire.
Cool.
And I just wanted to like pay homage to myself as like starting off really as a guitarist. You know, I've always like been a fan of Ibanez guitars, and you know now I play for them, and I've got my own custom like one of one. I was like, oh, it's like a full circle moment for me a little bit, you know. But yeah, it's fairly standard, simple stuff really. Like I've got DiMarzio illuminator in the bridge and a liquefier in the neck. So this one's like way warmer and just sounds a bit nicer really for like cleaner stuff. And then, you know, if you want to get some like Jimi Hendrix stuff going.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, mahogany body, ash top, maple neck, the rosewood fretboard. Fairly standard really. I just wanted it to work, like Con was saying earlier, you know? It's like I need to eliminate all the problems that I have with Floyds and, you know, like you're up and down in the air all the time on planes and stuff. So they warp. You know, like the necks will warp quite a lot and stuff like that sometimes. And having a fixed bridge is just kind of, it's easier to solve, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can just like tighten the truss rod, and it's not going to pull it all out of tune. And I don't know, it's way quicker to change all my strings and
course.
stuff, you know, because we don't have techs or anything. So it's like, I want it to be 5-minute, 10-minute job, really, you know? And it stays in
Yeah.
tune really, really well. But yeah, I absolutely love it to pieces.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's kind of funny how usually like it's backwards, like you're like the Ripper, but you have the fixed bridge. Conan's
Yeah.
more like keeping it down. He has the Floyd Rose. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, you like the Floyd
I've
Rose,
just
don't you?
never played. Well, actually, I own one guitar that doesn't have a Floyd on, and that's a baritone Warrior that I
shit.
got on the last tour.
Nice.
But yeah, I was just gonna say, don't you think it's hilarious how archaic it is that we've got computers and cables and everything now is digital, but we still play a piece of wood
Yeah.
with wire.
Yeah.
We're playing wire strings on a piece of wood.
It is mad, that, actually, isn't
It's
it? I've
crazy,
never even
isn't
thought
it?
about
When
it
you think
like
about
that.
I just thought about it then. I
Yeah,
was
wow.
like,
That's
isn't it
true.
archaic?
They've
Yeah.
not really changed that much, have they, guitars?
No, they just do nicer woods now.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You can
funkier
have a
paints,
funny colour.
gold
Yeah.
stuff.
Guitars have not changed.
No.
No,
It's crazy.
yeah.
And Con, I actually got right before we get into your Jackson. I got this from you. I was like, oh shit! Like, I'm not sure if you still back this, but since everything is going like the digital as far as like the amps, active pickups aren't really necessary anymore. And I got that from you.
Yeah. So I've actually got actives in this.
Now, but then I saw
Yeah.
you with the EMGs.
So what I was saying I did a gear talk a couple of years ago. That's probably where you got it from, a video on YouTube where I was just saying, like, it's a digital world now, and you can just change your gain on your input and things like that. So
Yeah.
you don't really need like the low end or that high end or whatever your actives give you. EMGs, these are 81 and 85, I think, and it just gives you a nice like mid boost clarity, makes it a bit more aggressive. You can do. I used to do an 18 volt mod on my EMGs when I had them 10 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
So you run it 2 batteries in series or whatever. But yeah, I just think that you don't necessarily need active pickups when you're using digital stuff, because you can just EQ it to whatever you want. You can make it sound good.
Yeah, it's true.
Another thing is active pickups are a lot more high gain output, like a lot hotter. So you might like I have to roll mine back quite a lot on my input. When I was using 6505, I used to use Seymour Duncan Invaders because they were like the highest output passive pickups I could get, and they sounded so beefy. But when I've played my Charvel Model 6 has actually got an Invader in it. When I put it into a quad, it's just too high. The output's crazy. So I have to roll it back a lot. I don't really know, to be honest. This is the first guitar I've had in 10 years with the MGs in it, and I actually really enjoy them. I think it's
Nice.
It's definitely making my pinches come out nicer
Okay.
because
sick.
my string gauges are really high. I play 13 to 62, and I've got a wound G on there as well. And I'm trying to do pinches and stuff on the G and then really tight. And sometimes I'm
Nice.
struggling to get my pinches in. But since I got the EMGs, they sound a lot fatter. So maybe I take back what I said about you don't need it. I think that maybe you just
we're all learning.
Same as the digital Kempers.
Yeah.
Said he'd never have one.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think it's all situational, innit? Whatever works best for you. I only use one pickup anyway. I never touch this one. So, but yeah, that's it really. And this is my Jackson Soloist. This is one that's made in Corona, California.
Nice.
This is the newer model, though. It's not. I can't remember the exact model number, but they did one before this that I had, a black one, and this is the newer model, and this is a lot better.
It's great, man.
This is all stainless steel, all the hardware, and I think the stainless steel frets as well, which are really sick. But this is the neck through, and I don't know if you can see it, but I put 5 springs in the back.
You gotta have 5 springs, dude. You have to.
5 strings, drop B. 13 to 62s. I honestly, I couldn't tell you the specs of this guitar, but I like it. It's my favorite one.
Sick.
And I love the green. This is like my favorite color. Anyone who knows me knows I love green.
Always in green.
But yeah, this one's just a workhorse. It's sick, and I've started to relic it because it just got smashed up on the flight over here. So I thought, Tim Hillier-Brook from Jackson's going to see this, and he's going to be like, "What the fuck?" But I dragged this guitar across the ground the other day.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, "No more for you.
Yeah.
No, you're not having another
yeah.
one." But I've got about 13 guitars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like MJ series and USA series, and they're all incredible. Jackson look after me so well.
Sick, man.
It's just a great company to play for. Do you know what? It's my dream. It's literally a dream come true for me. It sounds quite sad to an outsider, but you'll understand it because you play guitar.
The big deal,
like,
man.
You literally start off playing guitar. You look at these guitar magazines, and you're like, I wish I could have that.
Yeah.
And then
imagine
the
getting a free
craziest,
guitar.
do you know what? The craziest bit about it is when you sort of like between 5 and 8 years into your career, and you sort of getting bigger and you're doing well, and you approach companies and you say, "Can you help me out?" They don't care.
You don't. Yeah, it's
They
funny.
literally don't care.
It's funny.
And that's the worst bit for me. Is I wish Jackson's a lot better now. They're helping out younger artists and things like that. But when I was coming up through, I'd reach out to companies. "Please, can you help me out? Can you buy one? Buy one. Here's 50% discount," which is amazing. 50%. I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
I literally didn't have it. Do you know when
It's
you're
a great deal, but I'm still broke.
Do you know what? The thing is, the sacrifices that you have to make to be in a full-time touring band, you can't hold down a normal job. You
I don't got any money.
You don't have any
Yeah,
money.
exactly.
You're paying your rent and your bills while you're gone for 5 weeks, and you're not making any money for that 5 weeks, and you get back, you're broke, and it's just like, I can't afford a guitar at half price. So, but now obviously we've got a lot bigger, and I get looked after and everything. I just get sorted out with what I need, and just a fantastic company to play for. Since Tim Hillier-Brook joined, because I think being an artist in the US, it's fantastic. You've got like Mike Tempesta at Jackson, and all the OGs and everything, and you get looked after. But I think England, it's a bit like Misk in terms of endorsements.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Ibanez is through Headstock, which is just an Ibanez distribution company.
Yeah.
Things are through.
Don't really have a
so
team
it's not.
there.
We don't really have like direct contact. And since Fender bought Jackson, and Fender have got a UK head office.
Oh, yeah.
Since that all happened, then things have got so much better for UK
Oh, that's
artists.
awesome. I didn't think about that.
But before then, it was actually really hard to get anything, or to get any support from any companies.
Oh, wow.
And I think still like ESP is it's really hard in the UK to get any sort of anything going, because they just don't have the facilities to support you. So now, Jackson's got a thing, and you're in touch with Tyler over here.
Yeah, I've become more familiar with the American side of Ibanez and stuff like that, which has helped me out loads, to be honest. And
Great, man.
when guitars have been lost on airport on flights over here and stuff like that, they've sent me, a spare out or whatever, just so I can play the shows until these ones turn back up and stuff like that. So, but
That's cool, man.
it's yeah, you're right. There's not really anyone in England. There's Fen, who works for Laney, and he's sort of coupled with Ibanez in
like
the
the
UK.
middleman.
He's like a middleman, yeah. But he's he was a guy who was look, got me this custom. Really, he was look, I'm going to the Ibanez meet. We have to show who our artists are, and from our points in the world, and tell them why they should support these artists and stuff. So he was really had my back about that sort of thing. And then they came through, made me this amazing guitar. So do you know what I mean? Now I'm in touch with them. It's a way easier, and I can text Tyler whenever,
Yeah.
But for Jackson, it's a lot better in the UK.
Gap. It's amazing now, and I've got 14 guitars, and it's a dream come true. Like I was saying, when I was a kid, I always dreamt of just playing for Jackson. Never mind getting a free one, and now we're talking about doing my own custom shop.
Nice.
So I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but that's going to be sick when it happens.
That'd be rad, man.
So
Yeah, you got to come down to a Corona and check out the shop, man.
I know,
Cool.
yeah.
It'd be awesome.
I said to Tim I'd come this time, but we've got a side show tomorrow now, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're playing an extra show tomorrow.
Oh, we're at.
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's way out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
good few hours.
So we're playing a sideshow. Otherwise, I had some plans to go and visit. Where's
should.
the actual Jackson Custom Shop? It's in is it Nashville or I can't remember.
They got one in
They got one in Arizona.
Yeah, they got one in Arizona.
Oh, it's Arizona.
Because that's where Mark Shannon came that time, didn't he? When we
That's
played.
it. That's it. Yeah, Arizona. Mike Shannon, legend.
The legend, dude.
The legend.
He's a fucking legend. And people all around that warehouse in Corona talk about Mike Shannon.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
Yeah.
legend. Still, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, cool. Anything? Is there anything that you guys want out there? People that
Just, I mean, the new album's coming
sick.
soon. I can't say any more than that, but
Yeah.
this time round, sorry, go on.
No, go on. I thought you.
I was just going to say that this time round we took a completely different approach to writing the record. We flew out here. Well, first of all, we've been working with Josh Wilbur. He helped produce the album.
Oh, nice.
Josh Wilbur flew over to the UK on 2 separate occasions for a week. We did a lot of writing with him. And what was great about this album is we've got so many ideas collectively.
Cool.
We all collectively pitch in to write the lyrics. It's like a huge group decision on everything. Josh writes all the riffs, but then we all sit and we compile things, and which is bound to just start arguments. So,
Sure.
Everyone in the band's such a big personality to get
Good.
your point across or even heard. And because we rip each other so hard, it became a really like volatile space when we were writing that was almost becoming quite a lot of a chore. So we'd all get together. We'd be like, "Oh, we've got these ideas. What do you think to this vocal bit?" And like Wilkie would just be like, "Nah." And like literally, he'd turn up late to the room. We will have been there 2 hours. We've nailed it. We've tracked it all. We've got it all down.
Yeah.
Hit play. Nah. And you're like, well, what don't you like about it? And it's, and then someone comes out with, well, I just don't like it. I don't have to tell you what I don't like about it. Then it became like this big back and forth of, well, if you've got a better idea, let's hear it. I ain't got out. And then we reached this stalemate of writing where, so we got Josh Wilbur in.
The fun part.
And he was amazing because he just became this mediator.
He was good
That
at that.
actually sound well. Just hold on to that, or that actually sounds sick. Do you want to get in and try it? Let's just try it. And he gave everyone in the band an opportunity to voice their ideas, and we actually heard them rather than getting shut down straight away. And it's really brought out the best in everyone. Like
That's great, man.
Everything on the new record is such a huge step up. The vocals, the melodies, the guitar, the drums, everything's fantastic, and I just can't wait for everyone to hear the new record. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
It's such a step up from Malev.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Is there any time frame, or just keep?
I can't say.
keep
I can't
jamming.
say. Just keep jamming.
Yeah. The next single comes out in a couple of weeks. So like while we're on this tour.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
sick, dude. Yeah, you guys got your own warehouse, huh?
Yeah. So that's where
That's
Josh
dope.
came. Like we've got
Yeah, he came down.
we
there.
do all the like MLV LTD like stuff out of there. It's we've got the practice room in there, all set up, and then there's like the merch warehouse bit where they send all the stuff out and like take orders and stuff. And then upstairs is a little studio space, so that's like where we write the demos. And I'm generally just in there every day riffing when we're at home. Try and treat it as like a bit of a 9 to 5. Do you know what I mean? So it's go into the office sort of thing.
Go to the Riff office.
Yeah, go to the Riff office, which is sick. Do you know what I mean? I'm very grateful to just be able to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Sick.
But yeah, that's where we like did it all with Wilbur. He came in and like took over the workspace, and we were just like, look, these are the demos, and he was like, right, dive into him, and he's like, I had this idea, or like this bit's sick, or like I hate this bit. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
I'm like, that's my favourite bit.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like, no, not gonna work.
drags
Man.
it to bin.
yeah. No, it was good. He like definitely like gave us a lot of freedom with it. It wasn't like, he was like, this is the way it's gonna be. It was like none of that like, at all. It was, you got to know how our band works and who we are as people and how like, our sound or whatever, or what we were trying to put across. And he definitely like took all of that on board and like just tweaked it to like make it better. rather than being like, this is how it's going to sound. You know, it's like he wanted to make our record, not.
We
us
were just
make his
able to
record,
keep
you know?
it very Malevolence, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like everything that we stand for and everything that we've sort of like built up as our brand and our music over the years, we just, he weren't like, oh, we're going to do it this way. This is my way. He just like, we managed to keep it just like, it's us.
Beautiful.
It's just a representation of us in every way, but better this time.
Yeah.
It's way more refined. There's some major bangers on this record.
Looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
And how, after hearing, and also people listening and watching, after hearing how, you know, I could hear the history of your band. So it's, I'm looking forward to what you guys do next. It's awesome, man.
Nice one, man.
Cool.
Yeah. Now we're looking forward to it a lot. Hopefully it'll be well received. You know, there's always that bit of nerves, isn't there, before you put a record out and you're like, I think it's sick, but is everyone else going to think it's sick? You know what I mean?
I'm not nervous at all. It is sick. I'm just telling you now, it is sick. Okay? And when it comes out, if you don't like it, you don't like metal. Literally, that's it. That's the bottom line. If you don't like it, you do not like heavy music.
That has to be put out somewhere. If you don't like it, you don't like metal. So fuck it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't like metal. So
Yep.
that's it.
There you go.
Or maybe you could say, if you don't like it, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah. That same thing, innit? Yeah.
That too. To be honest, I am holding my pee.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
So,
I'm older, so the bladder is not as
same here. I'm
strong.
gonna have to stumble to the toilet.
What up? Yeah, where can people find you guys? Where do you want people to go?
YouTube, Instagram, like wherever. Malevolence Riff on Instagram. I think it's the same on YouTube, same on everywhere really. Spotify, just Malevolence, you know. Apple Music, all the things.
MLVLTD.com.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Malevolence, thank you for being here, and I was honored to be in your band for an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for ripping.
Thank you
I
very
appreciate
much.
it, man. Yeah,
Honor.
cheers for having us.
Hell yeah, anytime. All right, everyone, that's it. Later.